The other day, I asked my client if he thinks of himself as an influencer, and he told me no. And I think that that's actually pretty typical for a lot of people who are in service-based businesses. They think of themselves as someone who, does something, and they think of influencers as someone outside of that. But take a minute and think, like, are you in sales in some way? And if you are, how many people do you need to have conversations with for you to be able to close the quota that you're trying to reach? And if you look at how many people you're trying to have conversations with, how many like messaging conversations need to happen before you get those calls booked? And if you need this many messaging conversations, how many people do you need to reach out to total in your relevant target audience in order to get those conversations, in order to get those calls, in order to close those deals? I think that something that we've seen happen in 2025 especially is that our web traffic has collapsed. Social media is also seemingly collapsing in the sense that most people, the average person, gets way less visibility per post. Sometimes it's as little as 5 out of 10,000 followers will see a post on some platforms. But anyway, I don't want to digress. The reason I asked my client is, do you see yourself as an influencer, was I just wanted him to think about himself in a new way. And the issue that we were having is that he was kind of expecting me to be able to get all these appointments, and we're targeting 5 appointments a week, but we're actually getting around 3 appointments a week. And I told him, like, I think you need to be like the face of this business, because people want to see you on LinkedIn. They want to see you talking to them on LinkedIn. They want to hear you sharing some interesting insights that come distinctly from you. We're not just spinning some AI content and posting it. And the same thing with video as opposed to blogging, right? It's about creating something that's authentic, creating something that's you. And I asked him if he sees himself as an influencer, because I didn't think that he did, and he didn't. But I think that more people in sales need to start thinking of themselves as influencers, because ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to reach a huge community of people, and you're trying to influence as many of them as possible to respond back to you. That way they get interested in you. That way they book that call. That way you get to meet them. That way you get the sale. And if you are still thinking of yourself as someone who has outsourced lead generation, or who has outsourced this huge part of your sales process, and you think that you can just handle the closing, you can just handle the calls that come in, I think that may be setting yourself up for failure, basically, and setting up whoever you've hired to help you get leads for failure. I think that today, for most businesses who need good lead generation, they need to think of it as a partnership where they are the face of the brand. They are contributing unique insights. They're contributing videos where they authentically share themselves, talking to the camera just like it's a friend or a consulting client. And they need to feel comfortable getting themselves out there, just like an influencer does. If you don't, I just don't see it working out, because look at these trends. Look at how Google has now put all of the AI answers up at the top of feed, so people don't come down and they don't click on your post anymore. Or look at how much less impact you're now getting from social media posts compared to 5 years ago. And then I brought up to this client this thought that I had. I've never heard anyone put it this way, but what if Justin Bieber, just decided, I'm not going to make music this year. I'm not going to go on tour. I'm not going to write new songs. I'm not going to post on social media. But I expect my team to still sell seats or sell albums or sell whatever it is that he sells. And I expect them to keep hitting the same quotas as they hit in the past, back when I was more active. I think that obviously that would not work out for Justin Bieber. The Justin Bieber company ultimately depends on Justin Bieber because he's the whole face of the company. He's everything that they've got. If he stops working, the whole company that he presumably has stops working. And really, his whole team can't function to get the results that he wants. He certainly couldn't go tell his team, hey, I want higher numbers, but I'm not going to put out the effort to create stuff that the fans are excited about or interested in. So anyway, I've come to think of this as the Justin Bieber problem. If you are in a sales role, especially where you need to convert a certain number of high ticket clients per month, then you got to start thinking of yourself as an influencer. You have to start thinking of yourself as Justin Bieber, who has a team perhaps that supports you, but ultimately you've got to be the one who's going out there and performing, delivering fresh insights, creating videos, and making content that people want to hear from. That way they want to talk to you. And your team, I think, can do well so long as you have that drive to want to be the influencer. But I think that today, in the world of AI, we all have to step up our game in terms of thinking of ourselves as influencers and doing what it takes to influence people. I hope that helps. If you like this content, obviously, please like it. And if you are on YouTube, please consider subscribing if you'd like more authentic marketing-related insights. Thank you.